back to the channel, guys. You saw in the last clip, I was just doing some wiring in the front end here because I got these headlights. They just showed up from Amazon here. So I decided to buy 4 new plugs like this. I decided to put 4 new plugs on the headlight plugs just to get rid of the old crusty 86 ones that didn't make very good contact anymore. So I was wiring those on, and then I grabbed the headlights, went to test them. Turns out the new headlights have a different wiring, like not diagram, but different pin placement than the factory ones. So now I pretty much have to rewire it all with the correct wiring. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, and then I'll update you and show you how these headlights actually work. They're pretty cool. I wanted to give these lights a test just before I wrap up all this wiring here and install the lights themselves. Now, how I did this, from factory, these trucks, this one is a low beam and a high beam. So there's a 3-pin plug like this. There's a 3-pin plug up here. Then down here, it's only a 2-pin plug because it's just a high beam bulb. So you'll just have your ground and your signal for the high beam. Now, these ones have high and low built into them, and then also the DRL. So I converted both these sockets on both sides to being dual high and low. So basically I just added, instead of the 2-pin that was here, I took that off, put a 3-pin on, and then just ran the extra wire up, tapped it into the low beam that was in this one. So that's how this part works. As you can see, there's the 3 wires right there, ground, low, and high. Then these headlights, they have this outer ring in them. It'll be white as a DRL, and then it's actually a switchback, so there'll be an orange signal. This flashes as a signal, as you saw in that last clip there. So coming out of it, there's these 2 wires, a yellow and a red. Red is for your white, yellow is for your signal. Now I wanted to put a 2-pin sealed connector on them, so I had 2 different styles kicking around. So what I did, I just chopped off the plug that came on it, wired this on, and then you have the 2 wires coming out. They actually go to this marker light. This goes in the fender over here. The blue wire is the signal light. The brown wire is the park light. So if you come up, I have them both teeing off right here. They tee off into this plug, and then that's the same way I have it on this side as well. So it's a very simple setup. Keep in mind that these lights are not the same pin diagram as the factory ones. I had to actually cut them off and redo them once I found out that these have different pinouts on them. So pay attention to the pinout diagram that comes with these when you're wiring them up. But looks like everything's working properly, so I'm going to wrap up this wiring once again, and then I should be done with the front wiring, so it can be like finalized. And then I will install the lights into here with those trim rings that I powder coated a while ago, and then plug everything in on the back side, and hopefully it should all work and shouldn't have any issues. So it's been a little while. We now have a painted hood, as you can see. Fresh paint on that, and then we got that installed on the truck off camera. It just has the hinges right now. The springs are right here. Those will have to go on right away so it can actually hold itself up. But I have a bit of adjusting to do. I have to shift the front end over one way, push the hood back one way, shim out the front of the fenders a little bit to get my hood gaps nice. I'll do all that off camera, get all the fitment squared away and looking good. So yesterday went ahead, spent some time getting all of the gaps to fit really nice. This fender had to go forward and the rad sport had to shift over. Hood had to go back on the one side, all that good stuff. Then we got these springs on, so now the hood will stay up all by itself. Still have to put the cowl on, but I am diagnosing a weird wiper issue right now, so I don't want to put the cowl on until I get that figured out. But then today I came in this morning, I built a bracket for this intake back here, just this 90-degree bracket on here to hold this. It's not bolted on, but bolts onto the compressor right there, just to kind of hold this from moving around too much. This is an intake off of a 99-07 Silverado, just like what the engine's out of. So I just built up that bracket, and then I think I'm probably gonna powder this piece silver, just for a nice contrast. So I went ahead and I powder coated this intake piece in the silver powder that I had. Then once it was all baked, I wasn't happy with the finish. Turns out it wasn't a gloss finish, it was a satin finish, which I did not know about. Didn't turn out very good. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll powder it with the powder that I have that matches the blue to match the truck. And then I know people say you can powder over existing powder, but I have yet to make it work. That just turned into a big mess. So then I just washed all that powder off before I even put it in the oven. Then I scuffed it up and I painted it with a silver paint, put a gloss clear coat on it. So now that's how this looks now. Same with this bracket down here, painted that up, and the intake's mounted fairly solid now. Throw in my air filter. This is an Amazon special. Then went ahead, mounted this overflow tank. Again, this is also just a universal Amazon piece. Just have the bottom hose running up to the overflow on the rad, and then this one is the overflow for the tank. I just have it running down to a hole down there right under the ground. That should never get used, but in the event that, say, maybe the truck overheats or something like that, that is plumbed down there. Then I went ahead, shortened the wires for the mass airflow sensor because they were way too long. They were like way out to here. Shortened that, ran it up, kind of hit it. Then it comes up into the mass airflow sensor. I kind of tied up a little bit of this wiring. Still waiting to do this wiring until the truck is 100% drivable. Just want to make sure I have everything 100% before I go ahead and wrap up all this, even though it is mostly done. Then after that, I went ahead, did the fuel doors. I put them on the box and then put the filler neck shroud piece in as well, so that the box is just about ready to go on. Still need to do a little bit of rust repair on it and do the spray and box liner. Then I did show a little bit of a sneak peek. I went ahead and painted the grill trim. I painted the grill and the bezels all gloss black to match the powder coating and all that. Turned out really good. Headlight bezels, I do need to respray. I missed a couple spots, so I'll have to do those, but in the next video, we should see this grill all kind of come together. Hopefully, we'll have to see how that turns out, and then hopefully we can have a box on it very shortly. So I know the videos are kind of a little more spaced out now than they were. I'm just kind of plugging away at small things here and there. It's not a lot of engaging stuff, so kind of have to do little clips here and there of all the little pieces and parts that go onto the truck. But hopefully it should be getting done in the next few months. So if you want to see this truck get finished, be sure to subscribe and be sure to like this video. Be sure to comment below. Everything helps. Only about like 6% of my viewers are subscribed. So subscription really helps. So with all that being said, we're going to see you guys in the next one.